Okay, so for this one we have Liebestraum, and on the top left there it says we have a new time signature. So we have 6/4. So for 6/4 we're going to be counting 6 quarter notes on these ones. What they want you to do is count these like a pair of triplets, so kind of like a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. But on this one, since we have 6/4, it's going to be 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So on this one, that's our new time signature. At the kind of towards the end, we have our arpeggiated or rolled chords. So on these ones, what we're going to do is play these kind of like you're sort of strumming a guitar string. So if you imagine sort of holding a guitar string and sort of strumming that sort of stringed instrument, we're going to do kind of like that same sort of effect. But we're on the piano, what we're going to do is start from the bottom, and then we're going to kind of roll all these notes up to the top. So when you're playing these, start from the bottom note. I'm going to start from measure 23. We have a C, G, B, G. So C, G, B, G. On this one, again, starting from the bottom, kind of rolling those nice roll sort of motions. And then again, kind of imagine sort of like you're strumming like a guitar or some sort of stringed instrument sort of strumming. So those are some good exercises. If you would like to try those, you can try those just like in your chords, regular C position, start from the bottom. Just playing a regular C chord here. C, E, G, C, E, G. You go to D position. E. So you're gonna see a lot of those kind of rolled chords, those arpeggiated chords. There's a lot of composers that do a lot of them. But sometimes the whole piece may be like that. I think there's a Chopin etude where the whole etude is like that. You're just rolling those chords. So that's kind of our new thing kind of towards the end there. And same thing, you're going to start, maybe doing a little bit of a fermata, maybe kind of holding those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so on the beginning there, we have that first quarter note. Well, that's our kind of upbeat. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 on the downbeat. So also too, we're noticing that tie. We're going to keep holding the G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then keep holding that. And all we're going to do is play that E then for the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, we're going to move up. The thumb is going to move to the G sharp here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have that 6, the very last one. We're going to continue the melody going to measure 3. So you should have your third finger now on this E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, catching that quarter note on the 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a D major chord here, so we're going to remember D position. D, F sharp, A. Give that a nice accent. You have a mezzo forte there, so not too loud, but a nice, what they want you to do is kind of give a nice kind of solid chord there. And then we're kind of echoing that. So noticing the dynamics are getting softer, kind of a diminuendo there. Those are both D major chords, D major again. And then we're going to switch to, you have that A, move your 1 back to A again. We have a legato connecting these, so use 1, 5 and then 1, 4. So when you're moving down, keep the pinky connected to the E and then go to the D. That's how that legato effect is going to happen. So lift your thumb. And then we're going to move to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to the second page. So now we're transitioning into that minor. This is should be make the kind of listener feel like we're kind of transitioning to a different sort of mood here. This is a minor, so more of a kind of sad, maybe a little bit more of a kind of a melancholy sort of section here. right hand, number 3 on C again. 1, 2. So here we have some eighth notes. These are going to be a little bit quicker. These are like a kind of faster motions. So 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, bum. So kind of if you are practicing the timing there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1, 2, 3, bum, 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 bum. Again, you have the same sort of thing going on a measure 15. So let's keep going to there, that 15. 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So we have a nice forte there with a accent. So that's going to be our kind of apex, the kind of climax of the piece there. And then diminuendo. This is our 5/7 chord, so we're imagining your C position there, C major, and then 5/7, B, F, G, kind of hold with the fermata, and then back to our main theme. This is going to be hold this 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hand, use your number 2, go over the top to that D sharp. Left hand, you're going to have an F sharp here. So again, F sharp, D sharp. Move up just a half step to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where we have that arpeggiated kind of rolled chord. So left hand C position. Play C, G. Right hand, you're going to have B and G. So that's the 6 there with the interval. We'll roll those 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do left hand. Move your thumb up to A. Just a little bit of a move over with that left hand. Right hand, you have that number 4 there. We're still going to keep that same hand position. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. With that last chord there, right hand, we're going to move up to E and C. So this one we're going to hold a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we say, okay, where's the last beat there? Where's beat number 6? And that's all the way back to the beginning. So that's how that last measure gets completed, is that 6 there from the very beginning is how those two kind of come together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that was the kind of right hand melody. Kind of remembering your legatos, really connecting all of those notes, really bringing out the right hand when you're playing these. Bring out the top note with that E. So, well, if the two notes, the G and the E, we're kind of bringing out the most sort of top notes. So the E should be a little bit louder. It's the one that's sort of carrying the melody there. So that your thumb should be a little bit softer than what your pinky is doing. If you want to sort of lean into it a little bit more to kind of create that sort of kind of melody. Again, right there, we're going to at the E. This is a very kind of poetic piece. So when you're playing this one, imagine like you're sort of having a lot of different sort of colors and really kind of creating a sort of poetic landscape. Liszt, very known as the poet of the piano. So when we're playing this, imagine we're sort of going to some sort of dreamy soundscape, and so use a lot of different colors, and imagine like all these sort of describing maybe kind of the trees and the flowers, and all of these things are very kind of a lot of adjectives describing things. Okay, so let's do the left hand. This one we're going to do a lot of different hand position changes as well as majors and minors. So on the previous pages we were practicing your major and minor triads. On these ones, they're doing a lot of that here now with a lot of different hand positions. So we're going to start C position. Move up to your E position. Remember, for E, you have G sharp. We're going to move down A position, A major. We're going to move to D. This is where we're transitioning to that minor. So we're going to have F natural. Hold 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So again, going from the beginning, C position, E, going to A, D, minor, G. Okay, I'll measure measure 6, C position. Ba-dum-bum. Now we're kind of opening up the piano a little bit more sort of dynamics here happening. So we have those kind of arpeggiated sort of motions. When you're playing these, you have a C, G, C. Move over the top, use your number 2 to E. That gives us a kind of nice wash of sound. Again, very much kind of like very poetic quality. You can even sort of feel the sort of landscape there, sort of coming out here. On this one, you have a E, B, E. Go over the top, use your number 2 to the G sharp on that one. So those two measures are kind of those bigger motions happening. You can imagine maybe some waves or, roll, kind of these undulating, sort of rolling sort of hills. Going to measure 9, A position again. D minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C again. Okay, so on measure 13, we now are transitioning to that minor, so we're going to go to the F position. It's your F chord, but what we're going to do is go to minor, so we're remembering from your previous pages how we transition to the minor. We're going to move the third down a half step, so that gives us that A flat. Maybe going to a little bit more of a kind of a darker part of this kind of landscape that's happening. Maybe there's the shade or trees, giving something other qualities. Now we're transitioning to the C position. Noticing on 15 we don't have that sharp anymore, so this is going to be A minor chord. And we're going to E. Clearly back to the major again. So we've kind of made it out of the trees and the shrubs and whatever. Going back to C. So for this one, again, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, use your number 2. 1, 2, 3. For this one, measure 23 on that bottom note with the C. Notice we have that dotted whole note. So we're going to hold that one. So make sure when you're playing this, hold your pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the last one I went too far. Okay, so let's try both hands. We're gonna go ahead and try from the beginning. Noticing as well your pedal, so all of the pedal action that you have there, that gives us a nice quality as well, adding that in. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, sorry. Okay, transitioning to the minor. With the fermata hold, you can kind of hang there for as long as you want to, and we're going to transition back to the major. So for this one, some of the key themes here is kind of remembering all of your different hand positions: C major, E major, A major, D major, also to a measure 7. I think just those two measures there have that kind of bigger sweeping motion. And then when you go to measure 13, remembering minor, C, we're still in the minor, slowing down. so for this one, again, start with the left hand alone, right hand alone, and then go ahead and start slow, then kind of go over a medium tempo. It looks like the Allegro Moderato 104 to 120. That sounds pretty good. And then also too, when you're kind of doing the polishing and sort of wrapping up with this piece, make sure to watch for all of your dynamics. There's a lot of different sort of dynamics and articulations that are going on here. Measure 3 and 4, kind of like the crescendo getting louder and the diminuendo. Those aren't really major ones. They're just enough to sort of give you that sort of motion of moving up and sort of down. This kind of nice kind of rolling up and down motion. Then you have a mezzo piano on measure 6. We're going to transition to mezzo forte. Again, a lot of kind of crescendos and diminuendos. On measure 13, mezzo forte, and then 16. Finally, we get to that, forte. Mezzo piano again, and then measure 21, mezzo forte. A lot of little diminuendos, crescendos, and I think also in terms of accents, kind of remembering measure 10, nice chord. Same thing for measure 16. And I think that's about it for this one.